Hi everyone, my name is Becca. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm here to talk about the books that I read for the second week of the OWLS Magical Readathon. So I had a pretty ambitious TBR for this month. It just always happens. I try not to, and yet I do it anyway. I think I even talked about last week how I added books to my TBR. What can I do? I'm already planning to read those books, hopefully, so I put them on anyway. They weren't books that I wasn't already planning to read, so we're okay. But I haven't really made a decent dent into my TBR. We're 2 weeks, well, this is technically, we're in the third week now, and I've only read, let's see, 4 of the Magical Readathon. 1, 2, 3, 4 books out of the 12, and then I've read a few that don't have anything to do with it. So this is a struggle, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm on another book as well for it. It'll be fine. Last week, I think I said I was reading Beach Read by Emily Henry and loving it. I did love it. I gave it 5 stars. I absolutely love this book. This was so good. So good. I highly recommend reading it. I talked about it more in my last week's check-in, so if anything, go check that one out. This is fantastic. Witty banter, a perfect love story. It was just so good, and all to do with writing and books, and I would be shocked if this didn't make my top 10 favorites of the year. Well, okay, I say that, and yet I do like so many favorites. I do my favorite romances, my favorite fantasies. I highly believe this would be on my favorites. If I did like a top 10, like overall favorites. It's gonna be hard though. I've been reading a lot of really good books. I can tell you 3 right now that'll for sure be on it. And I feel like Beach Read would be one of them. Oh man. So yeah, okay, so I finished that. That was 5 stars. This one was for, what was it? The One Out to Sea. Of course, my notebook's over there. What was it? For the prompt to read a book that's set at sea or on the coast, I feel like Beach Read would be good because it is on the beach. There's water. We'll count it. We'll say it's a coast, I guess. I mean, yeah. I'm not the only one who put it for that, so don't come at me. I'm not, if I'm like cheating, I'm not the only one who did it. So there you go. Man, why can't I think of what that is? It's not History of Magic. That has to do with witches. Oh man. It's not, it's gonna bug me all day. All right, after that, I pretty much just read on my iPad. There isn't another couple books I could talk about, but we'll just talk about the iPad for now. I actually, here, let me turn down the brightness. I read Fence Volume 1 by C.S. Picot, Joanna the Mad, and Joanna Lafuente, I think. This is Volume 1. It's a fencing sport romance. It has to do, oh man, I don't know names. Okay, so we follow Nicholas, who, so he's the illegitimate son of a fencing champion. You get that in the first book. And, he really wants to make it big in fencing and to, show off what he's got and to prove to, like, his father that he can do it. And he ends up going into this competition, and he ends up fencing this kid, like this really fantastic fencer. Like, this guy never loses. I guess he lost once, and that was, I don't know if it's a spoiler. I'm not gonna say it, but he only lost once to somebody. And Nicholas goes in there just expecting to like kick this guy's ass pretty much, and he loses miserably. And then he gets into this school, into this college that isn't the best for fencing, but I think it's like second best or something like that. And he ends up having a room with the guy that beat him. Why can't I think of that guy's name? Oh, so I guess... Oh, okay, no. Seiji. Right, I think that's how you say it, Seiji. That's how I'm saying it. So, yeah, Nicholas faces off against Seiji and loses, and then gets into this school. He expects Seiji to go to this fantastic, like, upper-class school for fencing, and finds that he's actually having a roommate with this guy, and then they have to compete to get into the fencing team for this school. And yeah, that's pretty much all this book is about. But apparently, like, I don't see it yet, but apparently it's supposed to be like a really slow burn romance, I think, between Nicholas and Seiji, but like it's not there yet. We'll see. But yeah, like, it was good. I think I gave it 4 stars. It was good. I liked it. I'm definitely going to continue on. And I know there's only 2 more volumes after this so far. So, okay. So after, that was for the white, I'm missing everything. That was for the prompt to read a book that has a white cover. Don't ask me what that one was for, though. I don't remember. I don't know why I can't remember any of these. This is gonna bug me. In my wrap-up, I'll be able to tell you what everything was for, but for now, that was for the one with the white cover. I can't think of what the exam was for. Next up, I read Happy Ever After playlist. This wasn't technically on my TBR. I don't think I added it. Or did I? It's not on my OWLS TBR. It's an e-arc that I was granted. I wished for it on NetGalley and was accepted. I'm so happy I did because I absolutely love this book. This is the sequel / companion to the, oh my god, what? The Friend Zone. I was like, my best friend? No. The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. That one was about Kristen and Josh, who definitely are in this book. Kristen and Sloane, our main character in this book, are best friends. And Sloane in the last book, oh my god, I just don't know if this is a spoiler. I mean, I don't know what's a spoiler and what's not. I'm gonna like drop everything, I swear. Okay, well, it's in the synopsis, so I'm gonna take it as it's not a spoiler. If you haven't read The Friend Zone, though, you probably shouldn't listen to this. This is about Sloane and what she went through in the first book. So if you haven't read The Friend Zone and definitely want to, maybe skip ahead a little bit. I'll show the picture of the next, I don't know. I'll show the picture again once I stop talking about it. Okay? Maybe mute. I don't know. Alright. So, in the last book, Sloane lost her fiance. Now, this is 2 years after that. And Sloane ends up coming across his dog. She almost runs his dog over. I mean, she doesn't mean to, but, you know, like, she's driving, this dog just jumps out in the road and, like, she's terrified. The dog ends up jumping into her sunroof, and Sloane is trying to get a hold of the owner, but just can't seem to get a hold of him. I think it's, like, 2 weeks or so later when Jason, the owner, ends up calling her. He's in Australia for work, and he had somebody watching the dog, Tucker, but didn't work out well. And Sloane ends up watching Tucker for Jason. They end up texting and calling each other daily, pretty much. They just end up having this really great, like, relationships. Well, it's more of a friendship kind of thing. But yeah, it's definitely where they're both attracted to each other from just, like, their voices and, like, the texts and stuff that they're getting. And they don't even meet for, like, weeks. And then when they finally do meet, of course, Sloane's a nervous wreck over it. Jason's just like, I want to meet this girl. And it's so good. Jason is a musician, a really popular musician. Sloane is an artist, though she's stopped really painting what she likes and what she is really good at painting because of her grief. Also, she really loves to cook, and she had this whole blog, but that all had to do with Brandon, her fiance that passed away. So it's definitely been a really tough couple of years for her, and it's not until Jason where she finally starts to become more like herself again. And I just really loved it. Jason is so swoon-worthy. He, read it. Like, I thought Josh was great. And I love Josh. And Kristen and Josh, perfect. Kristen has no filter. It's so good. I love Kristen. I really love the friend zone. And it wasn't until the very end that the ending really left a sour note. I'm not going to go into it, but yeah, the ending was just not what I expected or pictured, and I just don't know if that really worked well. But the second book, everything's perfect. Kristen and Josh are perfect. Sloane and Jason are perfect. All the characters, especially ones that I thought I wasn't going to like, I ended up loving through the end. Like, it's just so good. These characters aren't just like black or white. They're complex. They have faults, and they're not just bad people. They're not just good people. It's just, oh my God. It's so good. It's so good. Like, I'm not kidding. That might actually end up being on my favorites list. I love the Happy Ever After playlist, and I'm so glad I was given an early copy, though that should be out today. So when this goes up, which is today, Tuesday the 14th, this should actually have gone up. The Happy Ever playlist should be out. So get a copy if you're really if you haven't read The Friend Zone, read The Friend Zone. Please. Read The Friend Zone and then read the Happy Ever playlist. It's so fucking good. I loved it. So yeah. The Friend Zone got like 4.5. This, of course, gets a full 5 out of 5 stars. That had nothing to do with an owl, though. So, okay. The other e-arc that I got is Take a Look at Me Now by Kendra Smith. And it says, would you give your first love a second chance? Okay. I received this e-arc. This actually comes out Thursday. I actually started reading it, I want to say yesterday, okay? I finished the Happy Ever After playlist the other day, and so I picked this one up yesterday. At 55%, I had to DNF. I couldn't keep going. I don't like DNFing books, especially ones that I've gotten e-arcs of. I've really come into DNFing books now that, like, ones I've bought or ones I've gotten from the library, like, it's fine, even though I feel like I wasted some money. It's, I'd rather feel like that than feel like I'm wasting my time on a book that I'm not enjoying, or getting through a book that I'm just not enjoying and going into a slump over. That's just gonna ruin my, ruin what I feel for other books as well. And I don't want to read while I'm in a slump, and I don't want to get through a book that's going to put me in a slump, or just going to make me upset, and I'm not going to go through that. This one, so for e-arcs, I try not to do that, because I did request these, I did ask for them, and I was given them, so I don't really like DNFing them. Even if I'm not really enjoying it much, I do try to find something that I enjoy. Now, yeah, I end up coming across books that I don't like at all, or thought were okay. I had to DNF this one because this has a lot of instances of cheating. Like, okay, our main character, okay, so this is about Maddie. She's married to this guy, Tim, okay? And Maddie and Tim have been married for over a decade. I want to say like 19 or so years, maybe. They have a son together. yeah, it's, how do I say this? So, okay. This is set in England, by the way. Also want to put that up. So Maddie is in this relationship that she doesn't want to be in. She's in this marriage that she doesn't want to be in. Tim is not a great guy, really. He kind of belittles her a lot. Everything has to be about him, and like she wants to go to work. No, she wants to go see their son, who's in the hospital in another country. I think, like, he's in Bali, and the husband's like, he'll be fine, leave him alone. He's in the hospital. He had a concussion. He had a surfing accident. And you don't want to go and see him? This guy's aunt, okay, Tim's aunt, the husband's aunt, is diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Her health is rapidly declining. She's losing all of her memories. She's dying. And Maddie is telling Tim, like, hey, you should go see your aunt. I've already seen her. She really needs to see you. You're her only surviving relative. You should go see her. Nah, she's gonna die soon anyway. Why do I bother? Like, what? What? Like, it's just like, why would you stay with this guy? Especially now that your son is grown and everything. Get out. No, just get out. So Maddie ends up going to this reunion and seeing her old boyfriend that she used to be with before she got with Tim. And it's like the love of her life kind of thing. This is the guy she wanted to be with, but, he ended up leaving her or whatever. And she ended up going with Tim. So now that she's seeing this guy and she's thinking, what if I would have stayed with this guy? What if, I would have been happier with him? And then, like, circumstances happen, they end up talking. It's not just with this guy, though. There's another guy, too, that she was kind of having fun with. And, okay, she hasn't had sex with these guys yet. I got to 55%, I had to quit. Because, like, she would be kissed, and, like, Greg, the old boyfriend, would kind of be all over her. And she wouldn't say, oh, hey, I'm married. She's not separated yet. She hasn't asked for a divorce. There's nothing. She hasn't even talked to Tim about not really wanting to be with him. She's kind of just like, nah, whatever. Like, you're still married. Get out of that marriage, and then you can, like, hook up with this guy. But instead, like, I don't know, like, the whole driving force is, oh, I'm going to cheat. I can't. I can't read books that have to do with cheating. Like, I'd understand if, like, there's instances of rape or something. That's totally understandable. I would never call that cheating. Okay, that's rape. This is, like, she's conscientious about it. She knows she's gonna cheat. Throughout this whole book, you're just waiting for her to actually do it. And man, these dogs don't shut up. But you're just waiting for her to cheat. And I was sick and tired of waiting. And then, like, 50% in, I'm just like, okay, we're halfway in. She hasn't cheated yet. She's thought about it. Oh, she's definitely thought about it. But she hasn't acted. She's kissed a guy. She's told him no, and it doesn't feel right. She didn't tell him she was married. She's still with this guy. Didn't say a word, but you know what? Whatever, okay. Then we get to Greg, the old boyfriend. And I'm like, him and his wife are in the midst of a divorce. They're in the midst of a divorce. She is not. So yeah, I DNF'd it. Done. I'm done. I'm done with my rant. I just don't like those kinds of books. I just don't. Cheating is a hard pass for me. It really is. Okay. That's it for the iPad. Let's go over the books there was one other book that I read. Technically, it's a novella. It's in this bind-up, the Dark Bites bind-up from Charlie Kenyon, the Dark Hunter series. I read House of the Rising Sun, which, okay, I guess you should sort of read it before Styx. It's set before Styx. It follows Heracles and Batiamas, It's their life before the events of Styx, which you learn about them in Styx, but I feel like you would have known more if you went in reading House of the Rising Sun before Styx. And it even says after reading House of the Rising Sun here. It's only like 100 or so pages. It says read more about them in Styx. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure it said not to read this one until after Styx. But I feel like you can read this before. And then go into Styx with a little bit more clarity about stuff. Either way, I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's just Batiamus and Heracles set way, way in the past. Like this is, what's the date? Or 12,252 BC. So yeah, you could have definitely just read that before or after. Really doesn't matter. Just learning more about the characters, like actually getting to see what happened through their eyes and everything instead of just hearing about it was pretty good. I really liked it. 4 stars. I haven't rated it because technically this is a bind up and I have to read the whole bind up for Goodreads. So this doesn't count for the OWLS because anything that's on Goodreads, actually, now I want to check this. Yeah, can you hear those dogs? I mean, it's every day. Oh yeah, okay, technically you can read it on its own. Yeah, it's 22.5, so it's set after Styx. I already have a book for the under 150 pages, so it's fine. But, yeah, this isn't my Dark Bites bind up. I'm almost done with the bind up. I only have a couple more, and they have nothing to do with the books. Or, like, I don't have to read any other books to get to those. I could just read those now if I wanted to. But I'm going to hold off for a little bit. But yeah, I want to say House of the Rising Sun. I really loved it. I love the story of Batiamus and Heracles. I'm going to give it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. Okay, so all the books I've read are out of the way. Let's talk about the book that I'm currently reading. And that's Moment of Truth by Casey West. I literally just started it today. I'm already 102 pages in. I'm on chapter 12. I'm enjoying it. This is definitely a high school romance. If you don't know, Casey West writes like high school contemporary romance. And they're fun and they're good. But I only really love a couple of her books, and then the other ones I either find like they're okay, they're fine. There's one instance where I just really didn't like it. This one might just be one that I'm like, it's all right. Though I am really sympathizing with the main character a lot. So we follow Hadley. She's a swimmer, and she's trying to get this scholarship to get into college. And then during one of her swim meets, this guy with a Heath Hall mask, like Heath Hall in this is like this action hero. He's just a movie character. And the actor is not someone that any of them knows. But this guy in a Heath Hall mask, who's like kind of infamous for this, goes into her swim meet and just like kind of disrupts it. And really throws her off. And so she's determined to find out who this guy is. And there's a lot of suspects, including her ex-boyfriend and a lot of other people in the school. But as she's talking more and more to these people to find out who this guy is, she's learning more about herself and what they think of her. So that's interesting. I definitely sympathize with her. There's also the instance where she's an only child now, but her brother, before she was even born, her brother was diagnosed with leukemia and passed away. So she's never even gotten able to see or meet her brother. And every year on his birthday, they do something. And it makes our main character, Hadley, feel kind of like the replacement child. You read more about that, but I can definitely understand where she's coming from, just seeing the interactions. The father is great, but the mother always seems preoccupied about things, and I'm like, I can get where she's coming with that. And I love the father. I love the best friend. At first, I was not sure about the best friend because, I don't know, like, there was just some instances I was like, I don't know if this best friend is going to be the greatest. But then, like, you get more into it. Like, I'm only 100 pages, but you get a little bit more into it. And I really love the best friend. Her name is Amelia. And she's a really cool friend. She's really good. I love it when they meet the ex-boyfriend and you find out why they broke up. And Amelia didn't know why they broke up. Hadley just told her it was mutual. And when Amelia found out why, she's just like, so we hate him now. So now we can badmouth him. And we should have been doing this weeks ago. We should have been saying how stupid he was. And like, you know, I get it. I love that. Because that's what me and my best friend would do. Like, yeah, this guy might be okay and he might have reasons, but come on, you broke my best friend's heart. We hate you. We hate you. I don't care if you're a good guy. We hate you. Like, you're always going to take your best friend for that. Your best friend's side for that. And I really appreciated that. And there's also a few other things that I just feel like she's a really good friend. But I can also see why Hadley is feeling, like, it's hard to say, but she feels like a replacement child. She feels like, you know, a lot of people don't really like her. She's the type of person, like, she needs to listen to music in order to focus and, you know, before swim meets, but she also listens to music to and from class. And a lot of people think, like, she's just really standoffish and just, like, she doesn't want to talk to anybody, you know, and so they just stay away from her. And so, yeah, they're really surprised when she comes up to them and stuff, but it's really good, and I'm really enjoying it. I don't know if I'm going to rate it yet. Again, I'm only 100 pages in, but I am enjoying it. So I'm going to try and go for another 100 pages. I haven't started it yet, but I'm going to start reading Dark Matter, because that's my Booktubers favorites of 2019 bucket. So that's one of the 2 books I need to read this month. So I'm going to read Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. It's a science fiction thriller, a sci-fi thriller. Never read one of those before, but we're going to try it out. I'm really hoping to like it. I know a lot of people love it. So those are the 2 for the week. I'm going to try for another book too, because I really need to read a lot. Like, I have a lot of books over there, and that's on my TBR. So there's a lot. So yeah, we're going to go through it, and we're going to try and get all the books read. But I have Final Fantasy. Like, I have 2 Final Fantasy games I'm playing just, like, the last couple of weeks. Like, we're in the midst of social distancing and shelter in place. So it's like, I'm just playing a lot of games. Not really reading as much, so I'm trying to do that more. So we're going to see how this goes. But yeah, that's it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again with another. Bye. Happy reading.